I'm Frances Fuller, Royal Crown Diamond with Young Living and the founder of Fuller Life Bali. Today I get to talk about what I do all the time. So the question that I receive most often in my classes is, what do I need to do to be like you when I'm in my 70s? So today I'm going to tell you what I do every day. So I realize that not everyone is even approaching that age, but it is important for us to think about what we're doing all along because our bodies do accept the stress on a continuing basis. So stress away is a great thing to use first. And while I'm applying the stress away and allowing it to absorb into my body, I'm going to tell you just a little about myself. I've been using the Young Living oils since 1999. In 2002, actually, I met some people from Asia and came to visit them in early 2003. And met others, began teaching the Young Living oils, and I decided to move to Singapore from Florida. I had lived on a beautiful beach in Florida and had a very relaxing life. And then I moved to the rather stressful city of Singapore. The greatest thing that ever happened to me is it opened up unbelievable things in my life. And I began teaching others about the Young Living oils, the benefits on all levels of their body to utilize these products. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I've used things and why I started using things the way I did. Now, I tend to move rather fast at times, and I'm not all that careful. I'm getting better though. So on June the 21st of 2011, I managed to play on the trampoline in Ecuador, and I had such a good time. I really and truly did, until I did a seat drop and landed incorrectly. So I fractured both sides of my second lumbar vertebra. And yes, it was painful. But you know something? Without surgery, without body cast, without any type of medical intervention, I made it through, and I'm walking again with no problems and no pain, feeling great. And so then the next great moment in my life happened when just 4 months later, almost 4 months to the day after I fractured my spine, when Young Living Singapore was opened on October the 19th of 2011. This was one of those stellar moments which stand out in my mind. And that's when things really took off. Then next was Hong Kong, then Malaysia, then Indonesia, Taiwan, and the sky's the limit. So what do I do to keep going all the time? Well, one of the things that is extremely important for me is the raindrop therapy. This is great immune support. It is great for just keeping the body healthy. And this is one of those things that I did a lot of. After I layered the oils right on my back when it was fractured, I layered it on the bottoms of my feet. Anytime anybody would put them on, all of those oils went on. And yes, it was a bit uncomfortable. It was more than a little bit uncomfortable. So I kind of assembled my little package of magic oils that really made me feel better. Now, many of you know what my favorite blend is. Believe. And I found that if I used Believe and then magnified it with Copaiba and used Panaway and Deep Relief, I really felt better on all levels. So I used a lot of these oils. As I said, I call these my magic oils. Moving along to other things that I do, I make sure that every morning I use cedar wood first thing before I even get out of bed. Cedar wood will help me to oxygenize the cells of my brain. And believe me, I want my brain working at its top peak performance. So I like to apply the cedar wood over my brainstem. And then I like to put on the calming, gentle essential oil of sacred frankincense. And I often apply this around my eyes because it's so good for skin. And breathe it in, allowing it to move through every portion of the being, just calming and gently moving throughout the body. So next, after I get out of bed, I like to, very first thing, I drink a lot of water. Because to me, water is very, very important. And I drink usually at least 1 liter of water before breakfast. In addition, I'm gonna have my first bit of Ningxia red. Now, I like to drink as much Ningxia red as I choose to have during the day. I definitely drink at least 180 milliliters or 6 ounces of Ningxia a day. So cheers. Now, Ningxia Nitro is another staple in my daily routine. Now, this will give you energy. Now, I don't really notice when I'm drinking Ningxia Red, I don't notice that much change personally when I drink Ningxia Nitro. However, I do notice a difference in my brain function. Is there anyone out here who would like to have their brain function lowered? Well, I certainly wouldn't. So I make sure that I have at least 2 tubes of Ningxia Nitro every single day. Now, if you are one of these that it affects you and does energize you, which it does for most people, at any rate, if you're one who really gets an energy burst from Ningxia Nitro, save it for those times of the day that you are at your lowest. For me, I just drink some more Ningxia Red because that seems to give me that, not that jittery kind of energy, but stamina, where I can go all day long and always feel good. So, next thing, what are we going to do? I have some supplements that I'm really careful to take every day because I feel that even though I'm fortunate and have really good food when I'm in Bali, out of our garden, our organic food prepared by our amazing chefs at Fuller Life Bali, still, food does not always give us everything we need, and at my age, I'm not about to take chances. I'm really lucky because I haven't had any major problems, medical problems, other than my injuries in years. So, the first thing that I make sure I have every day is sulfurzyme. And I have difficulty taking anything 3 times a day because I'm out during the middle of the day. I can do it in the morning when I get up, easy to do it again at night, but I don't carry a whole lot of things around with me in the daytime. So I'm a morning and night person. I love to take my omega J's because it's also going to nourish the brain, and by nourishing the brain, where there are 3 of the endocrine glands. Those are our glands that control our hormones. That's going to make it much more balanced for our endocrine system. It's going to make it work easier. And when our endocrine system is out of balance, our hormones are not functioning at the optimum level, and that means that we are somewhat out of balance. So this is my insurance policy there. Then in June of 2017, Young Living introduced Agiles just in time for me, because I had just crushed my right leg by stepping off of a 2.5 meter wall and falling onto rocks in hard pan. Agiles combined with the sulfurzyme is going to even magnify the effects for strong bones. And amazingly, they immediately decided that when my leg was x-rayed, they immediately decided that I had, very osteomyelitis and all the things, because that's what people normally have at my age. Guess what? I didn't have it. There's no sign of it. So I believe that my bones must just be stronger because of Ningxia Red, because of sulfurzyme, omega Jis, Agiles. So, but that's not finished. Vitamin C is supposed to be very good for bones and also antioxidant. So I don't want to leave that one out either, although it's not part of my morning routine, because it tastes so good. I use the chewable ones, and they are like candy. So I kind of save them as my candy snacks since I don't eat sugar. Now, having said that, that's a biggie, because I'm a sugar addict. I really and truly, all my life, I was a sugar addict. And when I began to be more balanced in my eating, I found that I could do without sugar. I never have lost the desire for sweet things, but I love that more balanced feel. Some of you may remember this feeling of rising up and having great energy, and then all of a sudden you eat sugar and you just feel wonderful, and then all of a sudden you fall off this cliff and just feel awful. And so the only thing that will help you is more sugar and more caffeine, or maybe if it's a latte, you'll get sugar, caffeine, and dairy products all together. And those are what I call the 3 poisons, because for strong immune function and for strong healthy bodies, we need to remain less acidic and more alkaline. There are many things that can cause us to be acidic. However, 3 big ones are what I call the 3 poisons: sugar, caffeine, and dairy products. So that's what I focus on. I'm one of these people who has a difficult time focusing on 10 things. But if I do really pay attention, I can think about 3 very easily. And I can apply stress away. That doesn't require a whole lot of effort. Besides, it smells good. And you know something that I have found out? That when I apply stress away and all these other oils all over myself, it makes me feel good. It turns me into a human diffuser. And everywhere I go, it means everybody else gets the benefit of the oils that I'm applying on me. I talk with my hands, so this allows me to diffuse out into the atmosphere. And I like it when the people around me are less stressful. Does anybody like to have a lot of stressful people around you? Then start using more oils. I promise you, the people around you will suddenly become less stressed. It's like having an aromatherapy treatment. So what do I do next? Super B. Super B will assist us all in absorbing nutrients better. Some of us, some of you may be lucky and absorb the nutrients from your food. I'm one of those who has a more difficult time with absorption. So no matter what you eat, if you don't absorb it properly, it's not going to give you the same benefit. Now, Life 9 is such a wonderful supplement. It's going to be that probiotic, that wonderful thing to get our gut health, because so much of what we do is interfering with our digestive tract. Another thing I do for my digestion is to apply Juva Cleanse over my liver. Juva Cleanse is an amazing essential oil blend containing helichrysum, ledum, and celery seed. And I love using this one. I don't like the smell, which tells me I probably need it. So I use it. If you really don't want the smell over your liver, use it at night over the liver and on the bottoms of your feet in the morning. The right foot, right under the arch, will have the reflex point for the liver. So, now, what am I going to do next? Well, if I feel that I'm really stressed, traveling a lot, or exposed to a lot of toxins, I keep Inner Defense handy. I would always love having Inner Defense with me, and when I forget to take it on a trip, I always regret it. So, Inner Defense is not something taken every day, but it is something that I take when I'm feeling like I'm getting sick. Now that I've finished my Ningxia Red and Ningxia Nitro and my supplements, I'm ready to play with my Rainbow Healing cards. And I do this every morning. This is kind of the way I put on my outer clothing before going out. Rainbow Healing System is a method that I developed over a period of time beginning back in 1999 of working with the energies that are available to everyone. And the goal of Rainbow Healing System is, number one, to make your own strong personal connection with the Creator, whatever your concept of the Creator is. Once we make that personal, strong connection with the Source, we learn to trust the guidance that is continuously being given to us by the Source. So, number one is to make that connection. Number two is to learn who we truly are. It is our authentic self. It is very difficult to become our authentic self if we don't know who we are. So identifying who we are is a very important step. Then next, we integrate all of our knowledge and abilities so that we are prepared to do whatever we came here to do in this lifetime. It doesn't mean we have to, but it just means we are prepared, and to be in harmony and balance every step along the way. So, what do we do next? Well, I go in and take my shower, and of course, what am I going to use with my shower? Obviously, I will use my favorite Young Living shampoo and conditioner and shower gel, cleansing my face with the Art Skincare. Now, people that I see rarely, that I haven't seen in quite some time, have looked at me and said, "Wow, you look younger now than you did when I met you 2, 5, or 10 years ago." So what are you doing? Well, I use the Art Skincare. One of the things I learned about 2 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago, from when I was teaching in Japan, was that Aroma Life is really, really good for skin. And I hadn't thought about that. But Aroma Life has helichrysum, it has ylang-ylang, and it has a base of sesame seed oil, which has been known and been tested many, many times for its ability to screen out the damaging rays of the sun. And now, I've looked back at pictures of myself years ago when I was covered with freckles. Now, I'm a freckly person because I really, the sun, I've lived on the beach, I played golf, I played tennis, and I just am a freckly person. And I realized using the Art Skincare and the Aroma Life, I don't have freckles on my face anymore, which is really exciting. Now, maybe I'll start using the Art Skincare all over my body soon. See how that happens. I think I'll test it out on my arms first, or, you know, I'm kind of lazy. You know, I do what I need to do, but if I don't see a real reason for it, I don't use it all the time. So maybe first I'll make sure I get it all the way down to the chest, because I do notice in pictures that I've got lots of freckles on the chest. So how do I like to use the Aroma Life? I never liked when they first came out with the little rollerballs. I really didn't like them, but now I love them. And I love them partly because you can just roll them on the area that you want and rub it in. Oh wow, let's lift up our neck. Now, it was never my favorite oil, the aroma. Guess who needed it? I like it better. However, another oil that I often put on my skin afterwards is really good for skin, and I love the aroma. So if you don't love the aroma of one of the oil blends that you're using, or the single oils, you may choose to layer another one on top until you get used to it. So I'm going to use some of the ylang-ylang, which is also an oil that I always use every single day, because it is part of the rainbow healing system that I use, that I play with every day, my rainbow healing oils. Feeling better already, yeah. So, okay, so what am I going to do next? Let's see. I've talked about this, and I think I probably would be going out and doing something productive during the day. So, at night, what am I going to do again? Probably more of the same, okay? So I lead a pretty active life for somebody in their 70s, because when I'm in Bali, I am at the center every day, and we do sessions, we do all sorts of great things. And when I'm teaching, traveling around, it can be very, very stressful on the body. However, my body doesn't seem to be as affected by it now that when I'm really careful to take all my supplements. So this is a question I receive often. Well, what about hair? My hair is falling, so, or breaking off. So first of all, those shampoo, what kind of shampoo are you using? It really, really makes a difference. When we're putting chemicals on the hair, or when we're putting chemicals on our body, while we're also using essential oils, the essential oils are going to detoxify our body, and then we're going to be piling on more toxins. So our body really doesn't understand what we're doing. So probably more than anything, it's a process of learning how to listen to our body and understand what's going on inside it. So one of the things that I love to do, have had challenges from time to time with hair falling out, is to use a few drops of lavender in my hand and massage it all through my hair. Rosemary is another one. I like to use it actually after I rinse my hair and dry it off out in the mornings. Then just apply the rosemary. If you don't like the fact that it has a more medicinal or antiseptic smell, then you may choose to use it at a different time. And is it a problem if we if we rinse it out afterwards? Well, it will absorb in very rapidly. So as long as you wait a few minutes, it's going to already be doing its thing. So we're now ready for the day. Thank you so much for joining me today and allowing me to share what I do on a daily basis. And I'd like to just close with a thought. Happiness is free. So enjoy every moment, every step of the way. It is your journey, and we deserve to be healthy and happy and joyous. Thank you.